that is. Hello, camel.
It's time to go to Iran's largest island. Let's go to the island of Qeshm. After 3 days on Iran's Rainbow Island, it was time to leave and head to the ferry port. Snagged a last-minute ticket with the help of some locals, and then it was good to go.
Got my ticket, made some friends, and now I'm on the way to Qeshm with the ferry, which is another island here in Iran.
And because I was here during the Nowruz holidays, it was absolutely packed with people traveling between the islands, which I had not expected from Iran before coming here. While there's almost no international tourists in the country at all, the amount of domestic tourists traveling around this place was truly amazing to see. And the journey to Qeshm Island is just about an hour ferry ride, but it's beautiful views across the middle of the ocean and the Strait of Hormuz, which as I'm editing this video is a very big topic. And it was super cool to be able to stand on the outside of the ferry and get a look at all the different freight boats and oil tankers that are carrying shipments basically all around the world because of how much the Hormuz Strait supplies. Then we arrived in Qeshm Island, which is one of the only UNESCO protected geoparks in the entire Middle East. My new local friends helped me get a snap taxi to take me to the other side of the island to Sheep Daraz, where I would be staying. So I said goodbye and hit the road. It's in about an hour drive to the other side of the island, and you get beautiful views of the Persian Gulf, and then I was also blessed with the most amazing sunset as you drive across the desert-like views of this special island. And as with my entire trip in Iran, I knew nothing about the place I was visiting except for where I was staying, and I figured my plans would come once I arrived.
It to my homestay here in Sheep Daraz. Right there.
After checking into the guest house, the owner took me to get some food where I had this like shawarma type sandwich and karak chai, which funny enough, since we're in the south of Iran, they do the karak chai similar to Pakistan still, but as I made it more north, it basically didn't exist. And unfortunately at this point, I was basically out of cash, and it had been quite hard to find a place to exchange it. But luckily, the guest house owner, his friend, was willing to go to Qeshm City and exchange money for me. So I gave this guy I'd never met $200 US, and a couple hours later, he came back with 20 million Toman. And then I was set for the next little bit, full on cash again. And before going to bed, I also arranged to be part of an Iranian tour group exploring the island for the next day. So we will see how that goes.
Got my taxi, and we are off for a full day tour here in Qeshm. Well, I got picked up by this random taxi this morning and driven across the island back to the main city. And today I'm going on a full day tour here in Qeshm with a bunch of other Iranian tourists because it's the holiday season right now, so everyone else is also traveling. We got our van for the day for all the tourists, and I'm going to be exploring with all the Iranians today.
After getting a full van of the tour group for the day, we headed to our first stop, which was the beautiful Stars Valley. This geological wonder was absolutely stunning. Carved between 2 million and 2.5 million years ago, it reminded me of some places that I'd seen in the deserts of Utah or even Nevada. It has this beautiful lookout point and all sorts of trails that can bring you around the valley. And there's also a local story that at night, the howling winds passing through the rock canyons produce eerie sounds, and locals think these are spirits or jinns, leading to many to avoid it after dark. And even being here at the end of winter, by 9 a.m. it was already blazing out here, and it's best to avoid completely in the summers. And then we headed to the second stop of the day, which was a boat adventure.
Now we are taking the boat to the next island, which is Qeshm Island. These boats up here.
And for this boat portion of the day, we even joined another group of tourists, so now it was about 12 or 13 of us on the boat flying through the rocky ocean.
Yo, they are launching us on the waves here. It is so stormy out. Welcome to Hangin Island. This is the island right off the coast of Qeshm, and it was about a 15-minute boat ride, and it's all part of basically the tour that we're doing today here on the islands. Everything here has been so beautiful. I'm on a tour with all Iranians, so there's very minimal English as usual, but I'm pretty used to that now that I've been here for 4 days now, either talking through Google Translate and we're just talking back and forth. I talk into it in English and then it translates to Persian and they talk back, or the tour guide that I have today for my tour, Qeshm, he also speaks very good English because he used to be an English speaker or English teacher here in Iran. And what's also funny is I was talking to him and he's had this tour company for 1 year now, and I'm the very first foreign tourist that's come on one of his tours. See, one of the crazy things is Iran is really touristy. Like, if you look around, all that is like tourists and shops, and you got these boat tours that basically everyone's doing. And in a perspective from like the tourism, it's basically like a Thailand or something, and these are like the South Islands, and everyone's just getting shuttled around from place to place and doing the different tours. And for everyone here, it's super normal, and there's a lot of tourism here, but it's all Iranians, and there's no foreigners at all that come here because of the sanctions and everything else in Iran. So I find that incredibly crazy because people travel so much here. Like, I've met so many backpackers and hitchhikers and people that are just constantly traveling around Iran, but it's so hard for them to actually leave that they just all explore their own country, which is also really cool, I think. And everyone always wants to talk. Like, I'm always having so many Google Translate conversations with everyone. We got our whole group here and all the other tourists, and everyone's very happy to see a foreigner that's here in Iran documenting what this country is actually like and all the beautiful things that it has for people to see. 2 boys are late for the boat. They gotta run.
And before we headed back to the main island, we also stopped in this spot where there was all these different fish swimming around. I don't know what type of fish they were, but there was so many different colorful ones, and it was really beautiful to see in the crystal blue water.
Coconut man. Getting myself a fresh coconut. Oh, thank you. Very nice. Got myself a fresh coconut here after visiting the islands with the boat tour. It was actually kind of expensive. It was 350,000, so it's like €3.50, which is still pretty expensive. Hello, salam. So, yeah, 350 for the coconut was definitely more than I expected, but it's very tasty. And now we're on to the next stop of the day, which I don't really know what that is.
And our Iranian tour group for the day brought such a vibe and amazing energy. And this is where Qeshm Island blew my mind, because after experiencing camels and the desert dry atmosphere, all of a sudden we're driving down this road and you're seeing crystal blue water and mangroves as you're entering into the Hara mangrove forest.
The next stop here now is the sea jungle, is what they call it. And this is like a mangrove forest, which I did not expect to see here. Basically, you got this crystal blue water, all the boats, and then you can see out in the distance, these are all the mangroves, which are like the trees that grow up in the water that merge with the salt. It's absolutely beautiful. We've been through like 3 different landscapes already, because we started with the Star Valley, which was insane. Looked like something you could see maybe in the US in like Nevada or Arizona. And now you got this, which could be in like Florida, and I've seen it in a few other places. And then before that, we just took the boat to Qeshm Island, which felt like something I'd been to in like Zanzibar in Tanzania. So this is literally all on one island in one part of Iran. Like, it is so diverse here. All right, we're going on the boat here. It was 350 Toman, so about €3.50. And I don't know how long it is or really anything about it, because I'm never really included in these conversations and I have no idea what's going on since no one really speaks English, but I'm always just along for the ride here. So I don't know if we got one of these big boats or one of the little boats, but I'm just following the rest of the crew and then figuring out where we go from here. But look at how beautiful that is. It's amazing. Look at this dude with his traditional clothing. Let's go. Salam. Chaturi. Can I go up? Yes. Alright. We're going up. Look at that view. I feel like I'm in the Outer Banks or something with this houseboat that we got here. Everywhere you look, stunning views. The fact that this is like my 4th day in Iran, and basically every day has just gotten better and better, is amazing. Driving the boat.
We're sailing.
Sailing.
Good, good boy.
Just a great day out on the water. Who gave this man the wheel? We're going into the marshes now. Look at all that.
So a little bit about the mangrove forest is that it supports 150 plus migratory birds, including a bunch of rare species like the Goliath heron and the Dalmatian pelican. And while Iran has 8 different mangrove forests around the country, the one on Qeshm Island is the largest. And it's also been recognized as a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve since 1972.
اگود برا اسکلا ببین قای نکن بنا بدین وقتی که نوروز بود جای تبل سرهدین اسکلا تبلن بنام حاضرین سر زبان کل کشور بود معروف از شما تا اصفهان هر هست 4 طرف همه زینت همه علف خدا کردن نصیبم نزاریم باشه تلا گردشش بره پسین شاده کن دل غمین وقتی که جانو نگیری پاتونین روی زمین
soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Well, that was the Mangrove adventure here on Qeshm. It's so beautiful, and everyone is just constantly in an amazing mood to dance and sing and just share their songs and culture.
After the most amazing dance party and vibes on the boat, it was time to head to our lunch spot. And honestly, one of my favorite things here in Iran is the way that these traditional places are set up to eat on the floor with cushions, and they're so relaxing and comfortable. So these ones here are chocolate covered dates. No, peanut butter covered dates. You see on there, pretty good. It is lunchtime. We got this like a sauce that goes on top. We got the filleted fish, more type of sauce here, and then we got the rice. Excited to try some of the southern island type of food, which is more seafood type compared to the other areas of Iran. Absolutely amazing Karak chai. They have it to try here. After incredible food for lunch and some chai, it was back on the road for our final stop of the day and some more camel sightings.
Well, I took a bit of an after lunch nap, and now we have our guide, Ali. All right, we're here at Chaku Gorge. Looks pretty cool in the pictures. Looks even cool over here in real life. Look at that. Whoa. Look at this. All here were made from the water.
You're right.
Many years ago.
When the island was in the water, here was the water. Here was on the water.
When the island was underwater.
Right. These rocks.
The water was up here when the island used to be underwater and formed all of this stuff. Ali's bringing us way in here. Look at that. Gets narrower and narrower the more you go in. I will try not to fall down here, but
Between the rock formations and the mangroves and everything Qeshm has to offer, it is truly an insanely diverse island. And finishing out with this place truly put a cap on how diverse and insane Qeshm Island is, Iran's largest island. And with that, it was the end of a beautiful full-day tour with local Iranians in Iran.
bye-bye. Bye-bye. That's the end of another jam-packed day here in Iran. Got the beautiful sunset behind me, and I'm headed back to my hotel now. And tomorrow I'm leaving this island and headed back to the mainland part of Iran for the rest of the trip. I love it out here. Happy to bring you along with me. And what a great day here on Qeshm Island in Iran. I swear I've been having the most random interactions here in Iran. I'm at my hotel right now, and I was trying to get food, but I was messaging with the owner, and as I was messaging him, my SIM card ran out of data for SMS, so they didn't go through anymore, and now I can't call him either, and I'm just in this like random town, and there's just nothing out here, so I walked out to the door to get basically the Instagram of the hotel, which is on the board up here, and there just happened to be a guy randomly walking down the street, and then he came into my hotel, and I don't know if he was staying here or not. I still have no idea, but I did some Google Translate with him and just said like, I'm trying to get food, but I can't get to anywhere can you help me with that? And he basically called someone and ordered 2 shawarmas for me, and then didn't say anything and just walked out after giving me some of the pastries or food that he had with him. So I think there's shawarma on the way for me. Do I know how I'm gonna pay when they'll get here? If they'll knock or something? No idea. And the guy was just like, glad to help, and then just walked back out the door. So I don't know. The language barrier is crazy here. There's just such little English. But the people are so friendly, always trying to help, but it just makes for some really random interactions.
And right after that interaction, I ended up meeting these other guys who were staying at the hotel, who then offered for me to join them for dinner. And I hitched a ride in their car, and surprisingly, when we drove, I didn't know where we were going because I don't know the area very well, but surprisingly, we ended up back at the restaurant where I was at the day before.
Back at Zaki's restaurant, yeah. The best place in town for dinner. Pretty funny, I took a side adventure with the random guys that I met at my hotel because I couldn't find the owner and my SMS was dead and I didn't have any more credit. Didn't know where they were going, but I ended up in the exact same restaurant that I was in the other night, and I ended up finding the hotel owner and his friend and the guy that I met yesterday. So it's a very small town, and I'm pretty sure this is the only restaurant.
And the night finished out with some amazing Iranian food, which slaps every single time, with my new friends who drove me here. And once again, the Iranian hospitality is king. And every day in Iran, I've had basically no plan, and each day it's ended up being an amazing day full of meeting so many new people and so much kindness.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Khuda Hafiz.